So let's break into the 10th biggest surprise of the MLB season so far is that Cedric Mullins is the truth. The 5'8", 13th round draft pick is so good at everything and shows zero signs of slowing down. He's already hit 20 home runs. He stole 22 bags. So next up is 30-30 for a guy that's also hitting for a 318 batting average. This is the same guy that hit 094 when he debuted in 2019. Then followed that up by hitting 271 in a shortened COVID season. We saw the potential, but I don't think we fully grasped what Mullins was capable of, that he's having a better offensive season than Juan freaking Soto. You better not sleep on his defense either. He's currently sitting in the 97th percentile in outs above average. I mean, in summary, not only is he having a top 10 offensive season this year, but he is an elite defender with room to grow. Cedric Mullins is absolutely for real, and he's so here to stay.
He's one of my favorite players in baseball right now.
Me too, and I'm a Yankee fan. I freaking love this dude.
Because what he's doing is so improbable.
Right?
I love him for that.
And not only do I love him for the improbability of being like a 13th rounder and being shorter of stature, 5'8", why I love him so much is because there's no holes. I've said this before. I'll say it again, and I'll say it in the future. He's good at everything. Defense, speed, the arm is good. He hits for power. He hits for average. He's walking. He does everything. Literally everything. There's not a lot of players in baseball who do literally everything at an at least above average level.
I'm trying to think of the other outfielders that do everything at a high level. I'm thinking Mookie Betts jumps out immediately. Trout, obviously.
Yes.
Acuna.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he does everything well.
The eye's good enough for Acuna.
Not as good as Mullins.
Not as good as Cedric Mullins.
Juan Soto kind of does everything, but Juan Soto doesn't. He's pretty fast, but he's not Cedric Mullins fast.
No, he's not Cedric Mullins fast, but Juan Soto does do everything well. I mean, it's hard to leave Juan
Judge kind of does everything well.
Judge strikes out a lot.
Yeah. So does Trout.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like, Cedric Mullins is a better bat-to-ball guy than Aaron Judge.
Okay, I don't want to go too far, but Cedric Mullins reminds me of a lefty Mookie. Like, I know it's almost blasphemous.
Yeah.
He doesn't, because Mookie is so cerebral.
Right.
So, like, maybe that's where it's separated, but Mullins is only 26. So he still has time to become that cerebral type player. Because Mookie hasn't always, Mookie kind of has been always
Mookie
one of the smartest players. Yeah.
Been. If I was going to pick a guy to play pickup basketball with, Mookie. I would pick Mookie Betts. Doesn't he?
Even though he's 5'9",
but he feels like the most coordinated guy in baseball.
Right? Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
He could rail you in Bago. He could rail you in like anything. He would be the best at absolutely anything he does. That's kind of how I feel about Cedric Mullins.
Didn't Mookie bowl like 300? Mookie bowled a 300, right?
He has bowled several 300s.
That's such a sick flex.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm a professional athlete, but this other sport, I could just walk in and be a pro.
That's crazy.
Like, not train, just walk in and pull a perfect game.
Are we going to number 9?
Let's go to number 9.
The 9th biggest surprise is that the Minnesota Twins are just full-blown bad. Minnesota was projected at 89.5 wins by William Hill Sportsbook before the season started. That would be 16 games over 500. They're 14 under right now. And they're paying nearly $120 million to do so. And they've got nearly $50 million committed to Donaldson, Sano, Polanco, Kepler, and Alex Colomé next year. That's brutal. They're in a bad spot.
Who do you think is the MVP of the Twins right now? God. I have my answer. I'd love to hear yours.
Jose Barrios, because he brought back 2 prospects.
Jorge Polanco is the MVP of the Twins. Nelson Cruz is gone. Josh Donaldson is here or there. Buxton's been hurt all year. Kenta Maeda is the shell of himself. Michael Pineda is the best pitcher on the Twins.
That's so hard to say.
Alex Kirilloff has not had the rookie year that we expected. Trevor Larnach is fine.
For the next 4 years, it looks like Bailey Ober is going to be a part of the rotation.
Who shoves
He
out of
shoves and he's
nowhere.
6'8".
Bailey Ober does shove out of literally nowhere. They're pitching Griffin Jax today.
Jax.
Yeah, do you know who that is?
No.
Yeah, we are baseball guys. Sorry, Griffin.
No,
He's
never.
probably a nice guy.
Never seen you throw, Griffin. I'm sorry.
He's thrown 38 innings this year. Not ideal. Yeah, Twins aren't not good. But it is a surprise because the Twins have been a perennial AL Central winning team now for a while.
They had the highest floor in the AL Central.
And now look at them.
The max they were going to finish was second this year, it felt like, and they're in fourth.
And they might finish fifth.
Maybe if the Royals get their ass in gear.
They better. God, that'd be awesome if the Royals finish in front of the Twins this year, just like for our sake.
Yep.
All right, let's freaking move on to the 8th biggest surprise in baseball this year. It's the Cubs' fall from grace came so fast. I think we all expected the Cubs would blow it up with a chunk of their stars facing impending free agency. But did we really think they would trade everyone they have and then go on to lose 11 straight? I know I didn't. Since July 30th, the Cubs are 2-13 and now sit 20 and a half games out of the division lead. We are recording on August 16th. So just a month ago on July 16th, the Cubs were a game under 500 and just 3 back of the second place Reds. And now look at them. The Cubs upgraded their farm system and the future looks bright. But for now, the Cubs are due to continue their free fall. So I wouldn't be shocked if they fall short of 70 wins with just 42 games left in their schedule.
Listen, I think Chicago is going through deja vu right now. Because in 2012 and 2013, this is what people did. They turned on the minor league games. Because that was more exciting than the big league product. They were in a rebuild.
Davis would hit third in that lineup right now.
Brennan Davis would hit third in that lineup. Canario would hit fifth. And I mean, shit, dude. Like, it's hard. And what I love to see is earlier this morning, Marquee, which is the RSN that broadcasts the Cubs, they announced that they're picking up telecasts of the Iowa Cubs, the Tennessee Smokies, the South Bend Cubs, and the Myrtle Beach Pelicans. I think a lot of other RSNs should be doing that, especially bad teams. I think you should be picking up minor league telecasts so you can see the future.
Pirates.
Give that right. Like, why do the Pirates not want to see Altoona Curve games in Pittsburgh? Because the Altoona Curve is going to be their team in 2 years, right? Don't you want to watch Henry Davis with Bradenton or wherever he is now?
I would rather watch Jason Dominguez than like most of the Yankees players right now. I would turn that game on in a second, but god damn it, MLB with the blackouts. I want to punch a hole through my television.
Yep. So I think that RSNs should be doing that. Having said that, this is not a spot that I think Chicago was expecting to be in 2021. A lot of people were saying Last Dance. A lot of people were making the comparison to Last Dance at the beginning of this year. Oh, they're all going to disperse after this year. They're all going to go separate ways in free agency, and it'll be a true rebuild. And, there are going to be some draft picks, and it's not going to be good. The good news for Jed Hoyer is he had a chance to retool, but it happened way too soon for the Cubs faithful.
The Cubs had 45 wins on July 16th. They have 52 now. That's 7 in a month.
That's horrible.
Bad.
It's no surprise that Fernando Tatis Jr. is what he is. It's absolutely no surprise. We saw it last year. We knew that it was going to happen again. But the 7th biggest surprise so far this year is that Fernando Tatis Jr. changes the entire identity of the San Diego Padres. Prior to... This is crazy. Prior to Tatis coming back and playing right field, the Padres had lost 4 in a row to the Marlins and the Diamondbacks, getting shut out twice, one of which being a no-hitter from Tyler Gilbert. And then they win 8-2, and Tatis goes 4 for 5 with 2 bombs and 4 ribbies. This team is a team that's lacking guidance without a 22-year-old to be that light. That's no good. Thank God you have a top 5 player in baseball and maybe the most valuable player in the National League coming back from injury now. But holy shit, you're not allowed to be that drastically different without one guy.
I just think it's hilarious. They got no hit by Tyler Gilbert, and they
God.
lost the Diamondbacks and the Marlins. It's so true, though. I mean, it's just so true, and that is such a surprise that the Padres are just a run-of-the-mill team without Fernando Tatis Jr. and you goddamn idiots who called him overrated because he made some errors. Look back on your ability to watch baseball and reconsider if you even like the sport if you think that he's overrated.
Do you remember when a lot of people were floating the idea that Peyton Manning should win MVP when the Colts were so bad the year that Manning was out with neck surgery?
Yeah.
That obviously, that was never going to happen. But I think the injury further bolsters Tatis's case for NL MVP because when he's gone, they suck. It's not best player in the league. It's most valuable player in the league. And Tatis is proving that he is the most valuable player in the National League.
And I think the only reason that we didn't choose him as our NL MVP on a couple episodes ago when we chose Bryce Harper was just the fact that we didn't know if Tatis would come back fully healthy and be able to continue this season. That was our only gripe because you look at it and it's like, well, no duh, Fernando Tatis Jr. is the MVP. His team can't win without him. And when he's on the field, he's the most electrifying player in the sport, one of the most talented players in the sport, and his team wins all the time. So it was like, no doubt.
The Padres look like they could win the World Series when Tatis is on the field. And when he's off the field,
a completely new product.
Right? And when he's off the field, they're not a playoff team. The Reds are better. The Reds would get in before
The Reds are better. The 6th biggest surprise of the MLB season so far blows my freaking mind. The NL East is garbage. What the hell happened, NL East? Were you supposed to be the division that at the minimum had 3 strong contenders with the possibility of all 5 competing? It's currently a battle for the top between the Braves, the Phillies, and the Mets, as the Nationals and Marlins are fading fast after they sold the deadline. I mean, get them out of there. The Braves are at the top of the division, yet are only 6 games over 500. The Mets are just 2.5 games out and are just 1 game over 500. Only one team in this division has a positive run differential, and the first place Braves would be 4th in the NL West, 3rd in the NL Central, 4th in the AL West, 2nd in the AL Central, and they'd be in last place in the AL East right now. This was supposed to be one of the toughest divisions in baseball, and now it looks like the easiest.
I think you're wrong. They'd be above the Orioles.
What did I say?
You said last in the AL.
Oh, I meant they'd be the 5th place team.
Got it. Okay. Man, that's hard to fathom. Even still, the Orioles suck.
Yeah. Basically, I was like, if you kicked out that team, they'd be in last place right now.
That's crazy. God. It's so bad. And the thing is, we're talking about the possible MVP and Cy Young in the National League coming from that division and not even the team that's leading the division. We're just talking about it because they have been spearheading the rise up the division and they're still a 500 team.
Yeah. You look back at it, it's like, oh, I love the Phillies. You look at the record and you're like, well, wait, they're like 3 or 4 games over 500.
Right. Relatively speaking, yeah, they're great in the division. But
right. Relatively speaking, they're great.
But they're not great. They're not a great team.
They're a good team.
I thought 2 or 3 of those teams had a legitimate shot to come out of the National League at the beginning of this year. Pre-injuries. Obviously, the Braves, if they were fully healthy, they had a legitimate chance to make it out of the National League.
Yeah, the Braves would be really good right now if they had Acuna, Soroka, all those guys.
Right, exactly. If they had everybody at full health, I think that is the 2nd best team in the National League, only behind the Dodgers. Although we're going to get to the Giants later. But wild, dude. Wild that we're having that conversation about the NL East this year.
Give it up to Fangraphs. They had Braves at 81 wins at the beginning of the season, and both of us were like, what?
I think that's because they thought everybody was going to beat up on each other, much like the AL East.
Yeah.
But it turns out Fangraphs was right, and everybody sucks. Number 5. The Red Sox have put together a coherent season on the mound. This is absolutely a top 5 surprise. I was expecting the Red Sox to be in the bottom 5 in baseball in staff ERA without Chris Sale up until this weekend. But they're top half and just 5 points below the league average. The staff as a whole is second in the American League in strikeouts, and they're in the top half of the American League in starter ERA. They figured out a way to buy time by using Nick Pivetta, Garrett Richards, and Martin Perez in the rotation, and Sawamura, Whitlock, Taylor, Valdez. How many of those first names can you name? A lot of people would say 0 in the bullpen. They've been masterful.
They really have. And even on the lives, people were like Garrett Whitlock for rookie of the year. And I was like, okay, setup guy, second win rookie of the year. I know Devin Williams did it, but like, come on, rookie of the year.
Sub 2
and then I
ERA.
look, 1.7 or 1.41 ERA.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute. Could he win the freaking rookie of the year?
Right.
Like the Red Sox, and I mean, he didn't even mention like Eduardo Rodriguez, who right now he has an ERA near 5.
Erod had to sit out last year because he was having complications with his heart because of COVID.
Yeah. And like, but his expected numbers look great. Like Erod's only going to continue to at least improve. Nick Pivetta coming from the Phillies being such a regular ass pitcher, just such a 6-foot righty who just has decent stuff and like doesn't do much. Now with an ERA under 4. Like these guys, I'm simply floored by what the Red Sox have been able to produce on the mound this year. I can't believe it.
And now they add Chris Sale.
It's like, fuck, God damn it.
I think
So
they make
good.
it. I think they make it.
I think they make it too. You know who else might make it? This 4th biggest surprise in baseball this season is the Cincinnati Reds have the best big 3 of hitters we've ever seen. Not quite that we've ever seen, but they've been simply amazing this year. We all knew that they'd be solid, but did anyone expect the Reds to have 3 MVP candidates? Cincinnati has to be loving what they're getting from their big boppers in Nick Castellanos, Jesse Winker, and Joey Votto. These guys are all top 15 in baseball in WRC+. They are the only team in baseball that can say that. They are one of 2 teams that can say they have 2, and that's the Astros, who lead the league in runs scored. The Reds rank 6th in baseball in runs scored right now. And with Jonathan India standing on his head, the Reds offense is an absolute force to be reckoned with.
And they don't even have Eugenio Suarez contributing whatsoever.
He's just negative.
He's terrible, and they're still good.
Thank God they just put Kyle Farmer at short and were like, get that dude out of the shortstop position.
Right. We're talking about Kyle Farmer in a positive light. He's a contributor to a team that might make the postseason.
But he's like playing well.
He's playing well. He's playing well. Jonathan India, my money says the NL Rookie of the Year. I understand what Trevor Rogers is doing in Miami, but like India is having a serious impact on this team as a rookie. And then that 3, man, Castellanos and Winker, we knew were really good. They were good the front half. Joey Votto decided to just blow up, and now he's a top 10 hitter in baseball again in his mid-30s.
Joey Votto still bangs. It's crazy. It's I get what you even mean about Winker and Castellanos. I personally, I'll be honest, I did not expect Jesse Winker and Nick Castellanos to be close to MVP candidates. I knew they'd be good.
Right. Yes,
but not
MVP
candidates. And now Votto, who has in it for power, it seems like 3 years, is now one of the premier power bats in all of baseball. I'm shocked. I can't believe it.
It's cool. And I know the Great American Ballpark is the hitter-friendly ballpark of the National League Central.
They half their games away, and they hit fine there too.
Right. Like it's kind of crazy what they're doing. It's the best offensive big 3 in the game right now, but it's the second best big 3 in the game right now, because I think the best big 3 in baseball is the 3rd biggest surprise of 2021's MLB season. The Brewers have the top 2 and 3 of the top 8 in the National League in strikeouts per 9. They have 3. Hold on. You ready?
I'm ready.
They have 3 of the top 5 in Major League Baseball in ERA. 3 of the top 5. They have 3 of the top 6 in the National League in pitching WAR. They have the top 2 and 3 of the top 7 in Major League Baseball in batting average against. One of those guys is on pace to shatter the batting average against record. That is an absolute cheat code for the playoffs, and they're waltzing into the playoffs.
The only reason I almost want to put it lower is because we're the only people on the planet who have been all up on Freddie Peralta. So it maybe this would even rank at number 1 for everybody else, not us though.
Man, we've been in on Freddie since his second start of the year. His second start.
We're so proud of that.
We're tooting our own horn because we deserve it.
We deserve it.
We were spot on with Freddie Peralta.
We were even like joking that he's one of the best pitchers in baseball at the beginning, and now he literally is.
God, I got to go back and listen to some of those early pods and just hear what kind of hyperbole we were throwing Freddie Peralta's way. Like it probably measures up.
We also do have to go through all of the over-under totals that we put for each team at the beginning of the year, see how those are doing.
True. We do have to do that. Man, but that's what I got to say about that. I don't care how the offense does. If you've got 3 of the top 10 pitchers in baseball right now, and I don't think anybody would list 7 pitchers above those 3, shit.
The best team in baseball is the second biggest surprise of the MLB season so far. The San Francisco Giants, let me repeat, are the best team in baseball. I'd like to officially apologize to the city of San Francisco on behalf of the entire baseball media for not fully understanding how good the Giants are. Yes, the Giants are the best team in baseball. They have the best record in baseball by 4 games, and they just added Chris Bryant and have won 8 of their last 10 games. They rank second in ERA behind the brilliant pitching of Kevin Gausman, Anthony DeSclafani, Johnny Cueto, Logan Webb, and Alex Wood. They rank 8th in runs scored behind the resurgence of Buster Posey and Brandon Crawford, plus role players becoming big league stars like Darren Ruff and Steven Duggar. The bullpen is second in ERA and first in saves behind studs like Jake McGee, Tyler Rogers, and Dominic Leone. They are firing on all cylinders, and even as the Dodgers have constructed an all-star team, it's the San Francisco freaking Giants that reigns supreme at the moment.
That was so fun to hear.
When you really go over what the Giants have been doing, it's almost our biggest surprise. Like it really is. Like it's really, and I'm sorry. Like I think we're genuinely sorry because like where did we have the Giants finishing this year? 3rd, 4th?
I think 4th.
3rd.
3rd.
Yeah. Like not making the playoffs. No way.
Dude. Yeah. Shout out your shirt for a second from Breaking Tea. Because I think we could hop on the podcast in November and there's a sleeper chance that we say Chris Bryant was the most valuable acquisition of the trade deadline.
What if like on November 1st or wherever we're recording post World Series, we say Chris Bryant just won the World Series MVP for the San Francisco Giants?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh, I would geek. Holy shit.
Geek.
Best team in baseball was surprise number 2. And let's end it with the biggest surprise in baseball this year, and maybe the biggest surprise, honestly, in baseball history. It's that somebody can do literally everything in baseball really well. Shohei Otani is actually Babe Ruth, but he's doing the things that Babe did at separate times at the same time. Like, how could anybody see this coming? He's got the second best WRC plus in the game. He's got 4 more homers than anybody else. He's 3rd in baseball in RBIs. He's top 5 in terms of offensive WAR. On the bump, if he qualified, his strikeout rate would be better than both of our Cy Young frontrunners, Lance Lynn and Zach Wheeler. Oh, and he's top 10 in the league in stolen bases. A human being, a baseball player, should not be able to do all of those things. They should be able to do one of those things. Just one. He does everything.
You know how we said Cedric Mullins is good at everything? Shohei Otani does everything that Cedric Mullins does and pitches. Like,
And pitches.
let's go through it. Offensively, power, Shohei blows him out of the water. Speed, Shohei in terms of sprint speed is right there and has 7 less stolen bases. Run producing, it's Shohei by a lot. Batting average, yes, Cedric Mullins does have a better batting average, but they both walk. Shohei slugs way more. And defensively, yeah, you give it to Mullins, but Shohei has a better arm.
Yeah, well, obviously, he has a better arm.
And then he's a freaking top 20 pitcher. Like, we don't, we get it. We don't understand it. I don't think a lot of baseball fans fully comprehend what's happening. We get it. So it's like, yes, we know that he's doing this and it's amazing, but I don't think we truly in our heart of hearts comprehend that we've never seen this since old Haas.
Here's the thing. We've actually never seen it. Old Haas
never seen it.
Here's the thing with this list. I think there's a chance that if we didn't mention Shohei Otani once this episode, a lot of people wouldn't bat an eye.
I agree.
A lot of people wouldn't say anything because everybody's been talking about it all year long. But take the step back and realize that this is the single most surprising thing in baseball history. I will repeat that. This is the most surprising thing that has ever happened in the history of this sport that's been around for north of 100 years. What he's doing has never been done before, and I'd be floored if it ever happens again.
I agree. And I've been hearing a lot of noise about how more Shoheis are coming, right? How a lot of these prospects now are doing both. I mean, we even saw Brendan McKay for the Rays doing both. He had Louisville.
Hunter Green was supposed to be that guy. Hunter Green's a pitcher now.
Does you ever see Hunter Green ever play shortstop again? No shot.
No shot.
But in high school, when even my high school team faced Hunter Green, he was pitching and playing short. Now no shot. We go even look at a guy like Jack Flaherty. We faced him in high school, shortstop and pitcher. It's so freaking hard to do what he's doing. And like we hear, oh, maybe this guy can hit and he can pitch. And then he gets nipped in the bud first like couple weeks that he's there. Cause like, you know what? Let's focus on this. Let's get you good at this.
Yep.
Not with him. And it's not that I'm going to keep going. It's not that he hits and then also pitches like, oh, he has a 4.5 ERA or like he's a good 4, like he fills in, and that's amazing.
Right. He can be a long reliever once a week. Like that's not him.
Freaking like ace almost.
He's got frontline stuff.
Shohei Otani or Lucas Giolito?
Otani.
Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Shohei Otani or Aaron Nola?
Otani.
Shohei Otani or Ryu?
Otani. We can't keep playing this game because we can't end it on a sour note. Like, we can't say somebody else and then say, all right, see ya. Shohei Otani. I will take him over Hyunjin Ryu for sure. All right, let's end the pod here, man. This was fun. Top 10 surprises. Again, Just Baseball Fans on TikTok and Instagram, at Just BB Media on Twitter. I'm at Jack_McMullen11. That is at Peter Apple 23. We're on Twitch, twitch.tv/justbaseball. Like, subscribe, give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Listen wherever you get your podcasts. And thank you guys so much.
Thank you, everybody.